Alright, here I am. Sorry for being almost an hour late. Let me ping the Discord real quick and then I'll explain myself. At stream notifications. I gotta grab the... I gotta scroll up. Sorry. Blah. Dum ba-da-dum bum ba-dum bum ba-da-da-da-da-do. So, as many of you might be aware, maybe, I have been sick the past week. I had to cancel the previous stream, my Wednesday stream. I've been just terribly sick until yesterday. Just basically bedridden. Vomiting, constant headaches, fever, and then chills, like, alternating between each other. Just not a good time. I could feel the blood pumping in the back of my head in, like, I don't know, it felt like there was a knot. So, because I was in bed all day for all week, it threw off my sleep schedule. So, I didn't go to bed last night until, like, I think, like, 4 in the morning. Which, like, in fairness, my sleep schedule is often pretty bad, but basically, when I was sick, I was just, like, sleeping all day. So that certainly didn't help matters. So I actually set an alarm for 11, because in my time zone, it's 1:30. And I was going to start streaming at what is in my time zone, 12:45. So I set an alarm for 11, because I was like, you know... Actually, I said 4. I think I probably fell asleep around 8 in the morning. Again, like, just being sick all week really fucked my sleep schedule. So I might have to look at changing... Because I don't work like a normal job. Like, this is my job. So I'm in charge of my quote-unquote work schedule. So I might have to look at changing when my stream times are. Hello, Ryan. How are you? So here's what we got right now on the squad. I went ahead and I used a save editor last night to update everyone to level 39. Just so we wouldn't have to waste time candying. We can get right into Guzma action. We are going to get some new encounters, aren't we? Let's move my car to the front. I feel like my car is a good, you know, a lead. Just a day-to-day. A day-to-day, as I refer to them. It sucks to be ill, and pushing oneself hard makes things worse. To be clear, I'm not sick anymore. It's just that when I was sick, because I was sleeping all day, it completely borked my, like, circadian rhythms. Here he is. Retired Grimsley. What's up, old man? A trial goer, huh? If you lose the coin flip, he just kills you. He just, like, pulls out a... He turns his Sharpedo into a torpedo and explodes you. By the way, I saw a YouTube channel making videos about the Dream of 5 0% growth LTC. That sounds like, Toffee? That sounds like the sort of thing Toffee would do. Wait, can I... Oh, I can switch, like... Okay, there we go. Because that's what we need. Is Sharpedo. Oh! Oops. Oh, wait. I have my car out first. That is, unfortunate. What is Dream of 5? It is a Fire Emblem ROM hack. It's the one that I most recently played. Review coming out soon-ish. It's currently available to channel members and, patrons, but I think it's... I can actually check. I think it's coming out next week for the public. Let me pull it up real quick. Bum ba dum ba dum bum bum. Bum ba da ba da ba da bum bum. Yeah, my review of Dream of 5 comes out in a couple of days. Oh wait, does he have Lightning Rod? No, he does not have Lightning Rod. Get fucked, loser. He can have Lightning Rod, I'm pretty sure. YouTube video has a horse archer girl. Safeguard can't keep you safe from an unagi. Get fucked, loser. Okay, maybe leading with Mudsdale in the water area was not, ideal. Let's put Colorful Cat in the front. Lightning Barrage is the hidden ability for Goldeen. Oh, okay. So that the enemies should never have it, because in vanilla Pokemon, unless I'm mistaken, is there ever an instance of vanilla Pokemon games giving opponents hidden abilities? I know that's a thing that ROM hacks do, because frequently the hidden ability is, like, more competitively viable or whatever, but I don't think that ever happens in the vanilla games, even USUM. I didn't know poison could kill in Path of Radiance. Poison kills in every Fire Emblem game where it causes damage, unless you count Poison Strike and Fates as poison. I know this because I was actually making a Fire Emblem status effects, or I never was making the Fire Emblem status effects video. I did some preliminary research on it because it was one of the options on a poll that I did for my patrons where they voted on like what I would cover next. And they voted for Anna instead, the history of Anna instead of the history of status effects. And I liked the history of Anna video, but it did not perform particularly well. Unfortunately. So they picked wrong! Poison is not suitable for the SRPG genre. It is not reliable on the player phase or enemy phase. Interesting take. I don't agree. I think that, it's one of those tools that is more useful in the enemy hands than the player hands, but I don't think that makes it inherently bad. I think that it's fine for there to be things that are better at enemy hands than player hands. Modern Fire Emblem is actually, like, full of those. Things like, I mean, Poison Strike, which isn't poison, but has poison in the name of it, is another one that enemies make much better use of than players. A lot of the fates and engage mechanics, actually, stuff like chain attacks, stuff like, stuff like we get an encounter, because there's grass here, and this is considered to be Route 16. Stuff like that. We get an encounter is better in the player hands than the enemy hands. Okay, random number generator. How many encounters do we currently have left? I think it's just one box. Yeah, okay, so let's do 1 through 29. 19, 18, 19. You know what, let's actually, okay. I'm not looking at the names, I'm just arranging them near each other. Okay, so we have 16 left. Let's do 1 through 16. 11. 6, 12, 11. Monad. Oh, it's another Legend of John reference. Okay, I do have to move someone. You know what? My car. We're going in the parking garage. All right, the monad. Monad. Okay. The monad. M-O-H-A-N-N-A-D. So this thing's gonna have one hit. I'm guessing. I'm predicting now because this is Legend of John reference. It's gonna have Oko moves. Because lethality. Because John has lethality. Hone Edge, that makes sense. M-O-H-A-N-N-A. Monad. Summary. Life Orb. Guillotine. Yeah, okay. Predictable lethality. Although this is interesting. Oh, so it's Marshadow's signature move. And then Sacred Sword and Tackle. Well, this Pokemon has 3 attacking moves. Oh, my Lanta. Okay. Oh, wait. I forgot you could hit a button and see all the items. Gen 7's quality of life is so good. Remember when Pokemon added quality of life in new entries instead of taking it away? Those were the days. Those were the days. We do not want to learn Fury Cutter. Oh! I need to be careful. I need to be careful because the level cap is 41 right now. I don't think it's unfair, as there is often a clear tutorial or explanation to a mechanic. Technically made a user error. Wait, what's unfair? Oh, are we still talking about poison? I don't think poison's unfair. I think so. I'll be real about like Fire Emblem and unfair difficulty. I think for the most part, the things that people refer to as unfair difficulty are not unfair difficulty, and in fact, usually the things that people complain about as unfair difficulty are actually fair. I come at this from the perspective of someone who's like a Fates fan, and a lot of the that's unfair things that are leveraged at Fates are things where it's like, well, you have the actual tactical options to play around that. Difficult does not equal unfair. So stuff like Lunge Change, Inevitable End, Freeze, Hexing Rod, Enfeeble, that sort of stuff, right? Meanwhile, what I would say are actually unfair forms of difficulty are, significant stat differences between you and the enemy when you do not have the tools to counteract them. And this is something that actually comes up very often in quote-unquote vanilla ROM hacks that like don't have skills or whatever, if they add a difficulty option, and that difficulty option usually just involves scaling up enemy numbers, you run into situations where... I mean, this was my big problem with Sacred Echoes, is without grinding, the enemy just massively outstats you, and you do not have tools to get around enemies that massively outstat you, as opposed to like in Engage, where you can run into enemies that massively outstat you, and you can still leverage broken tools that the game gives you, stuff like, you know, Divinely Inspiring, stuff like the various emblem skills and attacks, and that sort of stuff. Fates gives so many options. There's always more than one solution to a map. It's not like the first 4 maps of Lunatic Plus. I can see the argument for Lunatic Plus having an unfair difficulty. But I do think that sometimes, and I'm saying this from the perspective of someone who has never beaten Lunatic Plus. I gave up Lunatic Plus on chapter 1, 2, 3. The map where you get Sumia and Kellum. And the reason I gave up is I realized I wasn't having fun. And I enjoy Awakening Lunatic. Awakening Lunatic is like a pet difficulty for me. And I know Awakening Lunatic is one that a lot of people don't like. So, I get it. Like, I get why people don't like it. But for me, I really like Awakening Lunatic. So, Lunatic Plus, the fact that I don't like it, still recovering from sick brain. I don't remember where that sentence was going. But we do have 2 more encounters, I just realized, because there's these flower fields, and then there's the mountain on the other side. And that's okay, because the encounters is what we're here for. This is the most fun part of the stream. Sacred Echoes soft locks on the Trial of Alm if you don't train him on hard. I believe it. I believe it. And like, in some ways that does feel like the sort of thing where it's like, okay, we got number 10. Let's put 2 more people in the parking garage. My car can keep Balance 2 and Rallyman company. Okay, so we've rolled number 10. That's Hello Goodbye. I don't know why you say hello, I say goodbye. And OG Firebender. Oh shit, it's Zuko. Everyone, we got a Zuko archetype in the chat. Or on the team, not the chat. Everything is the chat if you try hard enough. Bum bottom bottom bottom. This is Hello Goodbye. In some ways, the idea of like, well, there's a oh, hello. Oh, you're gonna be like, just go super fast, kill things, aren't you? Are you all Oko moves as well? A Deoxys speed with all Oko moves would be peak comedy. Maybe that's our answer to Necrozma. Maybe you're our answer to Necrozma. Hello? Goodbye. Before checking out what Hello Goodbye does, I need to hatch the other egg. Who was the OG Firebender, because I made a joke about Zuko. Hello Goodbye is one of Python's Echo's critical quote cut-ins. Oh! It is literally, it's an Avatar joke! Because this is the dragon! And so I wasn't out of pocket to make an Avatar joke. This is literally the dragon who teaches them. This is actually the OG Firebender. Okay. It is literally just an Avatar joke. Okay, so I was right. Alright. He has an eject button. Oh! It's like... It's... Okay! Hello, goodbye. He says hello, and then he very quickly says goodbye. Not terrible. And then multi-type, flame plate. So that does not work, by the way. Multi-type does not work on a Pokemon other than Arceus. So Rayquaza should still be dragon flying. I'm trying to pull up the screen, but I can't. Oh, it's on the left screen. Yeah, it's on the left screen. Rayquaza is still dragon flying, for anyone who didn't see that yet. Multi-type, as an ability, only affects Arceus, even if you give it to other people. I think I put that in the description. But maybe this is just a silly prank. But yeah. Sacred Fire. Judgment. Dragon Dance. Fly. Okay. Okay. Let's level up. But yeah, the same is true for the RKS system. The Silvally RKS system will also not affect other Pokemon if you give it to him. We found Fly TM. It's in the library. It's in the library. As our good friend Arthur says, having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. Because you talk to this lady in the library and she's like, oh, you used Charizard to fly? You fucking Charizard fan. And then she punches you in the face. And then she gives you the Fly TM. Is bro reading chat? I am reading chat, but I am not bro. They took it away for high quality animations. I'm assuming that's in reference to me saying the quality of life stuff. What did I miss? I was having a Wi-Fi lagging issue. We've just been chatting. I've just been saying random shit. I haven't really been, we haven't done any game progress. The only thing you've missed so far is hatching some eggs and leveling them up. I also punched Charizard fans in the face. Based. I mean, there's nothing, like, inherently wrong with being a Charizard fan. It is just, it's fun to make fun of Charizard fans because he is such a, like, pushed Pokemon. Like, Game Freak really wants Charizard to be their special child. So it's kind of like, oh, your favorite Pokemon is Charizard? Feeling daring, aren't we? Rayquaza and Deoxys, I cannot spell to save a life. I mean, they are fictional creatures, so they won't be offended if you misspell them. Although, a team of internet glasses bucktooth face emojis will descend upon your house and steal your lunch money if you ever spell or pronounce a Pokemon name wrong. My favorite Pokemon is the giant woman from Pokestar Studios. Okay, but that's the hipster answer. I'm sorry, but giant woman from Pokestar Studios is the hipster version of Charizard. Giant woman from Pokestar Studios is just the hipster version of Charizard. Why, yes, Oh, no, it's not hipster. It's Reddit. It's Reddit is what it is. Yeah, I'm putting you through the grinder for that one by calling it a Reddit answer. But it is. It is oh, did you know? Did you know that Pokestar Studios has a giant woman in it? Oh,
Yes. You need a really high IQ to understand my jokes about my favorite woman being the giant woman from Pokemon. Yeah, I'm Pickle Rick! I'm Pickle Rick, bitch!
That's what that's what I think of when people say their favorite Pokemon is the giant woman from Pokestar Studios. Pickle Rick. I just love giantesses. I'm not trying to fetish shame. I'm not trying to fetish shame. I'm just it is the it is the like, it's the Pokemon equivalent of, did you know Super Mario Bros. 2 was actually Doki Doki Literature Club? Like, it's that. I understand. Oh, look, it's the alien. Faba feels like such a fucking afterthought. Shoutouts to the Faba boss fight, where he literally just has a Hypno. What is this man's point? I didn't know there was a giant woman in Pokemon. Yeah, it's in Pokestar Studios, the Black and White 2 minigame that everyone hates. And I get why everyone hates it. I get why everyone hates it. Because it is, Oh, Mercury, no! There we go. Here. You know what? You show up on Cat Cam. Boop, boop. Mercury. Boop, boop. Instead of rubbing your face on the keyboard, chase this red dot. See, the red dot's right here. And now he's over there where he's on camera. Up here. It's in the call. It's in the tomb. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, they're stupid. They're a little stupid. I played Pokestar Studios to death. I actually kind of like Pokestar Studios. At one point, I want to do, like, a video on Pokestar Studios. Whether it's, like, something here or, like, a Let's Play on the other channel. Just, like, looking at it, I think would be cool. But everyone hates it, and the reason is that you're forced to do the tutorial for it. So on, like, repeat playthroughs, it gets annoying. And I get that. Pokemon is a series that people like to repeat play, especially for, like, Nuzlocks and solo runs and shit. Although I've been thinking recently about, like, there's a lot of game things where it's like, this kind of sucks on repeat playthrough, but... Oh, shit. Okay, Monad, let's go. Monad is a first stage, so, like... Yeah, that... That's about as good as I guess I could predict it, I guess. Sorry, John. Oh, dear. I should have kept Monad around as a sacrifice. In my head, I was like, oh yeah, this will be a good Pokemon to do a fight in. But, like, I should have just kept him around as a sacrifice, if we're being really honest. You know what? There's a Poke Center coming up. Died to John Hard Mode. It really is John Hard Mode! Oh my god! Sucking ass is John Hard Mode. Environmental storytelling. Oh, Mercury's scared of the wind outside. She's staring up at the window. She's scared of the wind. John Evil Scientist. That's what Faba is, yeah. Finally, fucking Ike promotes. The last 3 chapters were so scuffed as I leveled him too early. Is this Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn? Imagine being these 2 losers and you've still got a Pawnyard and Scraggy because you know the level curve moment. Also, can we talk about the fly animation? Where he's just like, woo, brah. It's silly. It's a little silly. Path of Radiance. I go away for a moment and the John Blade dies. That one is like half on me, but also, what was I supposed to do with Honedge this late in the campaign? He was... The thing about opening an unevolved egg this late in the game is they basically become forced sacrifice fodder, and I forgot about that, and I was just trying to use him as like a regular Pokemon. I misread the guides and had Ike maxed from the Bird Lagoos in chapter 15. Oh, are you going through with the guide? I am genuinely curious what a modern day Path of Radiance guide says to do. Because, like, I would say that investing experience in Ike is kind of a waste of time. But that is not a common opinion. There are a lot of Ike fans who think that this, like, mediocre sword-locked lord with no utility is, like, the 3rd best unit in the game. But that is unfortunately, like, just kind of what happens when a Fire Emblem game is easy on its highest difficulty. People will just have, like, wild takes. I bonus experienced him to level 20 by chapter 15. Battle experience, not bonus experience. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. The thing is, in games like Sacred Stones or Path of Radiance or Birthright is another good example. The difficulty is easy enough that you can win the game with your favorites, which is like a good thing for people who come to the, like, you know, it's like but Pokemon. People sometimes come to the series just because they like the little critters. And by little critters, I do mean the anime swordsmen. Oh, there's no PC here. Oh, we do need to go back. We need to put John Monad to rest. Ephraim is the best lord ever. I mean, I don't even think that's like a great example, because Ephraim is very good. He ranked highly on my, I mean, it wasn't like a Lord's tier list, but I did categorize them by strength, and he's pretty good. I think people might have gaslit themselves into thinking Ike is good in Path of Radiance because he's good in Radiant Dawn, and he's cool in Brawl. A very similar thing is true of Har in Path of Radiance. Har Path of Radiance is one of the most mediocre fucking units ever. And I see so many people talk about him being like the bee's knees. But he's not the bee's knees. He's butts. At this point, I should prepare my team for fighting Guzma. So we got a flyer, we got fire user, we got invincible person. You don't have any fire attacks. Okay. I think this is the squad I want. I have to train Har. I want him to go off in Radiant Dawn. You don't have to. I think people significantly overstate, like, the impact of transfers. I don't play Radiant Dawn with transfers, because I just don't find them to be enjoyable. But with the exception of, like, Ilyana and Nephany, transfers are not that impactful, because it's an extra 2 stat points in, like, 1 or 2 stats, depending on what you cap. That is not often going to make a statistical difference outside of, like, very select scenarios, which is why I say Ilyana and Nephany, because they join early enough in Radiant Dawn, and in Nephany's case in particular, 2 extra points of strength mean that she's not weighed down by, she starts with a really heavy weapon, and the strength makes her not weighed down by it and lets her double a bunch more enemies than she would normally. I early promoted Riss and Miss. I hope I didn't screw them over. You didn't. You didn't. A lot of Path of Radiance units will cap anyway. Although reaching caps is also not like, you know, like, it's important if you care about transfers, but I really don't think you should care about transfers. The Master Seals are made for healers who won't cap. Yeah, I mean, the existence of 3 Master Seals in Path of Radiance is kind of an enigma, TBH. 'Cause, like, what was that? He hit me with Toxic even though I'm flying? Is that corrosion? Or is that just, like, normal? Holy shit. Wait, okay. We gotta get out of here. That might be an effect from corrosion. I didn't know that. I thought corrosion just let you poison people who are immune to it. Poison types ignore all the accuracy stuff when they use toxic. Yeah, but like Swift misses if you're flying, right? Flying has like special properties, because I know like Hurricane and Gust can hit in the same way that Earthquake and Magnitude can hit when you're underground. Or does Swift hit when you're flying? I might be wrong on that. Swift might hit when you're flying. It's basically like no guard specifically for poisoning. That is a really cool way of phrasing it. Which makes it easy to remember. Kind of like how Mycelium Might is basically Mold Breaker for status moves. Alright, I can never remember the solution to the password. Oh, hello. Oh, right. Why did I pick up a TM? I'm not allowed to teach Pokemon new moves. The brain rot. The brain rot. The Pokemon brain rot. I was like, I see a TM, I grab a TM. Anyway, let's beat up these lesbians. Ba-no, ba-no-no, ba-no-no-no-no. Ooh, piece of candy. Moves like Swift, Aerial Ace, etc. don't hit if the opponent is using Dig, Bounce, or Fly. Okay. Does no guard hit through Dig, Fly, Bounce, or Dive? Why are they fighting you in their house? In fairness, I'm breaking into their house, but I'm breaking into their house to get back a kidnapped, Zangoose. Okay, so it must just be a corrosion thing, then. The corrosion let them hit while I was flying. Interesting. Well, I learned something new today. It just works. ToddHoward.png for corrosion. Danny, will you play my hack where there's a married fighter? Her skull tank was too strong. Skull tank? Oh, they are lesbians. She's distracted staring at the other one's tits. It's just like me, for real, for real. Alright, Gust Kraken! Time to destroy this infidel. Danny, will you play my hack where you get a married fighter and mage lesbian couple in the first 3 chapters? I love Pent and Louise. Not as units, but like as a concept. So even though you're joking, that is cool. It's not corrosion. The poison type using toxic just get to hit Pokemon while they're invulnerable. Really? That's neat. Not what I would have expected, but neat. Yeah, me too. Me too. I gotta go back for homework. Have fun. Or fun in quotation marks. I gotta find the people who have the solutions to the password. Wait, is that paper one? Bond Suite. Do you have an invitation? My invitation is my fist in your face. My hack is very gay. Well, I'm glad you're doing it, because Intelligence Systems isn't. My Astrid capped strength and speed. She's just built different. Although, honestly, I say that, but her strength growth is worse than the other Cavaliers. She has the worst strength growth of the 4 Cavs. But her speed growth is good. And, like, you could also give her the... Well, the main selling point for Astrid is, Paragon. What are they saying? Like, Dogara! We like bows. I like bows in this house. I made an entire video about bows. One of my better performing videos. And I think one of my better main ones. But, it's gonna have a sequel soon, hopefully. I need to stop promising videos, but I do plan on making a sequel to the bows video or a spiritual sequel to the bows video for 2025. Tapu Koko, Bond Suite are 2 of the answers. Then you're asked if you're sure, and you have to answer no. Totally not making a blind sniper and life and death light mage as the A support couple in my hack. Bows 2, Electric Boogaloo. So I say a sequel to the Bows video. It's more a spiritual sequel. I've mentioned a few times wanting to do a video on quote-unquote Game Boy Advance brain rot. And it's that. When I say Game Boy Advance brain rot, though, I don't want to phrase it like that. I think the video title is going to be Living in the Shadow of Game Boy Advance. Because it sounds like an insult, right? Like, and to an extent it is, but it's not meant to be like, oh, if you like these games, fuck you. Because, like, I like Sacred Stones. And I used to like Path of Radiance. Then I got better. That was mean. That was unnecessary. I used to like Path of Radiance. It was my first Fire Emblem game. And, like, your first Fire Emblem game, you're gonna like stuff about, because otherwise you wouldn't get into the series. Like, the only reason you check out other games in the series is because there's something in the series that appealed to you that you liked, right? My first Fire Emblem was 6 and I hated it. But did you hate it at the time you played it? And if so, like, why did you check out others? Because there must have been something that brought you to others. Guts Kraken is really just like the spam A button Pokemon, isn't he? Shadows of GBA Lentia? But when I say Game Boy Advance brain rot, it doesn't mean, like, you're not allowed to like these games, or even, like, that the games themselves are bad. I don't believe a game can be objectively good or bad, because, like, enjoyment of a video game is a subjective thing. What I mean is that the way that the Fire Emblem community often talks about the franchise as a whole is very Game Boy Advance centric. Which is where my, like, bows are not actually bad video sort of comes from, is the perspective of, like, bows are bad in what I refer to as the Game Boy Advance trilogy, which is not actually the 3 games on the GBA. but it's Fire Emblem 7, 8, and 9, and it's because these games bear a lot of similarities to each other, right? And they have a lot of similarities to each other, but they're not very similar to the rest of the franchise. But somehow, the things that are true about these three games, like bows being bad, like Paladin being the best class in the game, like units never reaching their caps, have become, what we refer to as, like, the standard for Fire Emblem, right? No skills. That's the other thing, is that, like, people still refer to games that don't have skills as, like, vanilla, and games with skills as, like, skill. Or, like, yeah, there was a Reddit post the other day. I don't use Reddit unless it's for, like, trolling stuff. But I had to go on Reddit to delete some stuff from my account, because it's going to be going public soon. What Reddit account I used to troll people. And so I had to make sure there was no, like, personal information. Which actually, okay, sidebar, because I have ADHD. So I was scrolling through, I have a Reddit account that I use purely for fucking with people, right? Which I think is the only ethical way to use Reddit. Is to just troll people. And in a future video, I'm going to be revealing, it's the O'Doyle conspiracy, that O'Doyle is me. And so I was like, I have to go through and check all of O'Doyle's posts to make sure that there's no personal information I don't want my viewers to get. And so I scrolled through Poison Jab. Okay, so I think that's all of them. Poison Jab, Tapu Koko, Bon Sweet, and then no. So I had to go through and make sure that, there was no, like, revealing information or anything. And I found an old post on the, there's a subreddit called r/transpassing, where people will post, like, pictures of themselves and ask whether they quote-unquote pass. And, like, there's a whole discourse to be had around passing culture that I don't really want to get into for the sake of this story. The reason I'm telling this story is that the transpassing Reddit is notoriously incredibly racist, incredibly anti-Semitic. And most of the ways that they'll talk about, like, people not passing, aka not looking like, well, so it's usually trans women, so not looking like women, are based in those, like, sort of racist assumptions. So I posted a picture of my cisgender sister, pretended that it was me, said, like, oh, I think I'm pretty good at passing, what would you recommend that I do in order to pass better? And every single comment I got was about how big her nose is. And I'm like, okay, well then. I don't know how to respond to that. We don't even have any, like, Jewish ethnicity in there. But, you know? Like I said, like, I expected a lot of, like, racism and anti-Semitism. I did not expect the, like, the huge focus on, also, she does not have a very big nose. But, yeah. You should not post your sister even as it's me, not her. If you get someone's permission to post a picture of them, then I don't see an issue with that. So, do we think Ghost Kraken can just sweep Guzma? Like, probably?
The hated boss who beats you down and never lets up. Yeah, Big Bad Guzma's here. I don't get you, kid, but at least this is a change of pace. It's not every day that someone comes straight to me for a beating. I'm not here for you. No bone to pick with me, huh? Then it's Young Goose, I guess. How sweet of you to help out the sad little girl.
The box overflowing with Buginium Z. Bug smiley face would have loved this room.
You came all the way here just for that, huh?
Can't you just watch out for your own Pokemon and stay out of other people's business? You're one messed up kid. Wanna know what I do when some machine messes up? First thing I do is give it a hard smack. I mean, most of the time I still smash it to pieces, but hey, what can you do? Now let's see if I can fix you. I believe in Gust Kraken. Wasn't Gust Kraken one that had to go through like 3 names? Yeah, the Danny spelling moments. The only person who's actually ugly is a transphobic lady in my office who has a 1,000-yard stare and a scary inhuman smile. Oh. Yeah, I guess priority moves are Gust Kraken's, like, main downfall. Cause, like, he's gonna outspeed and one-shot everything with super effective damage. Yeah, I might have built this up a little bit more than... The thing is, in a regular Nuzlocke, Guzma is quite difficult, but in a regular Nuzlocke, you do not have an aerialate boom burst Pokemon. Not just any aerialate boom burst Pokemon, like Noivern. Does Gust Kraken have the ability that turns normal moves into flying? Yes. Yeah, that's what aerialate is. Sorry, I should have clarified. My cat's watching the stream with me right now. Do you want me to put her on the keyboard so she can share her wisdom? I think if your cat wants to share wisdom, she will. But rather than putting her on the keyboard, you should allow her to decide for herself whether the keyboard calls to her. Because a cat's wisdom is earned, not demanded. Minor lag. You started explaining when I asked. Yeah, there is like a slight it's not lag. It's not on your end. So peek behind the curtain, YouTube gives you like 3 options for stream delay. Either 0 seconds, 10 seconds, or 60 seconds. I always pick the 10-second option, because if you pick 0 seconds, unless you have a really good internet connection, it can be pretty stuttery. And 60 seconds makes it impossible to interact with chat in a timely manner. Which, like, granted, especially today where I'm kind of still waking up, there's definitely been some chat messages that I respond to, like, late, but... Sit on the throne. Wait, you can? After I finish talking to the cop, I'll go back. Have you touched Cerulean Crescent, the Fire Emblem ROM hack yet, or have you been too busy? I've been too busy. I'm probably gonna stream it. I streamed the other 2 of the quote-unquote big 3. So I'll probably stream it. Whoa! Wait! I've never seen this before! Yo, you wanted to see me?
Hold up. You? That's the boss's chair. Is that alright? Well, I guess it is.
I wish I could get away with that. Whoa! Okay, that's a really cool Easter egg! Okay, I like that. I like that. That's fun. That's fun. What are the big three? Dream of Five, Cerulean Crescent, and Milkmen? Yeah, so they're sort of collectively referred to as the big three because they were three highly anticipated hacks that came out around the same time last year. And they were all received very well. They're sort of like the three most popular hacks of 2024. And so, you know, I said my piece on TMGC. That is still my favorite ROM hack that I've played. And favorite Fire Emblem that I've played. And then, this week, later this week, a video on, Dream of Five is coming out. And anyone who watched the streams can probably guess. It's gonna be more negative than I would like. I don't like disliking games. It's more fun to like stuff than dislike it. As much as, like, you know, oh, it's fun to be a hater. Like, it is fun to be a hater sometimes, but it's more fun to, like, I played through the whole game, right? Like, I don't want to not enjoy my time playing through the whole game. Alright, so we need KR Beast, because I want to fucking flex and be like, Silvally. Let's bring Stefan out. And so he has a Zoroark, a Crobat. Actually, let me pull up his team. What's his actual name? It's Gladion, right? USUM Gladion. Because I always call him Cobalion. Because that's a Gen 5 legendary Pokemon. Okay, so his level cap is 44. He starts with the type... Oh, wait, no, that is an Aether Paradise. He starts with a Golbat out. So we could just, like, Kagehira. Let's start with Hello Goodbye. We can Volt Switch on that thing. And then, do I even have someone? Yeah, we got Time for Hugs with Flying Press. Okay. Is Danny and I the only people not on the Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn is Good train? Well, I got bad news for you, Odd Panda. I got bad news for you, Odd Panda. I like Radiant Dawn. Radiant Dawn is one of my favorite Fire Emblem games. It's like... I just don't care for Path of Radiance. But... I also don't think you're the only Radiant Dawn hater. Radiant Dawn is very unpopular. A lot of people don't like it. The thing is, I feel like the fandom for Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn doesn't actually overlap that much, unless the reason that you like the games is the story, which, to be clear, it's not for me. Because the gameplay is quite different. Path of Radiance's gameplay is very similar to 7 and 8. It adds skills back, and it has, like, shove and the base and stuff. Like, there are some differences. It's more different from 7 and 8 than they are from each other. But at its core, it's got, like, the weak enemies, Cavalier Dominance, 1-2 range dominance. 1-2 range dominance is even more of a problem in Path of Radiance than the Game Boy Advance games, because you can forge javelins and hand axes. Meanwhile, Radiant Dawn, well, it depends on what portion of the game you're at, because Part 4, which is my least favorite, is, like, very enemy phase-centric, and Part 3 can be as well, because, like, TFW, they hand you Har and Ike in the same army and expect the game to be challenging. Like, I'm sorry. But if you get Radiant Dawn Ike and Radiant Dawn Har, like, specifically those two, not their Path of Radiance iterations, which kind of suck, low-key, the game's gonna be a joke, and it kind of is. Like, there's still some challenging maps, but it's definitely not to the same extent as, like, the Dawn Brigade maps. From a story perspective, the Dawn Brigade maps are the worst, because they're like, hey, remember racism? What if you were the racist? And it's just like, okay, you really want to go there? No, but it's okay. The reason that you're racist is nationalism. So that's good, right? That makes it better. Micaiah is one of the characters of all time. But from a gameplay perspective, I really like what the Dawn Brigade maps have to offer, where you're like a really underpowered group. It really feels like you're freedom fighters, who just happen to be racists. God, Fire Emblem is so fucking washed. I tried making Radiant Dawn harder by using Kai'Sa and Lyre. It's still not hard. They're so weak, it's hard to get the Dawn Brigade to do well. It makes you, like, actually leverage positioning and tactics, which is part of why, like, Micaiah, I think part of why Micaiah is, as a unit, so overhated. I mean, partially it's because she's a woman, because misogyny moment. But, like, the real reason is Radiant Dawn came immediately after Fire Emblem 7, 8, and 9, where the mark of a good unit was someone you could just, like, throw in a field of enemies and have them 1-2 range people to death. And Micaiah has 1-2 range, but no bulk. So, like, if you throw her in a field of enemies, she dies. If you throw her in the path of a single enemy, she dies. What Micaiah does, well, her role actually varies throughout, oh, wait, whoops. I didn't level people up enough. Hopefully being underleveled isn't gonna fuck me. Oh, no. This could be a problem. If Micaiah had the actual speed to avoid, I feel like the hate would not be that bad. Avo tanking is not a real strategy. I'm sorry to break it to you. Okay, so this is the Zoroark. Because type Null is actually level 43. So this is the Zoroark. He has Snarl and Hyper Voice. So I think we go time for hugs. Micaiah having a speed stat would be lovely to actually double. That would be the real advantage. That's fucked up. What is the hit rate on Flying Press? $95. Okay, if I go to Ishido, resist Hyper Voice. Does Bug resist Dark? I think we Fleur Cannon, because that'll be super effective. Okay, we're safe. If that's a critical hit, we're safe. Fleur Cannon, it lowers your special attack by 2. Okay, so we Fleur Cannon here. No! What the hell? Can Ucho live another attack? Okay, let's look at the play-by-play. Let me pull up the VOD. How much damage did Snarl deal? 87... So I had 87 before I got snarled, and I've got 48 now. So I die to a crit, but I should live, assuming that wasn't like an incredibly low roll. I guess we Inferno Overdrive. So that we don't miss. We're not out of the woods yet, though, because now we have to fight the actual type Null. And my plan for the actual type Null was Inferno Overdrive. Okay, so here's the situation, is the actual type Null has Pursuit, Crush Claw, X Scissor. I resist 2 of its 3 attacks. It sees a kill with all of them. But type Null is pretty slow. I think we slack off here. Because if I switch out, it could just kill me with Pursuit anyway. Ucho's life is at risk no matter what. I think we slack off. We outspeed. Okay. Okay, so it used Crush Claw because it was going to use a random move. So, I've had Berserk go off twice, but Sonara lowered my special attack twice as well. So I'm at +2. My defense is lowered. Let me rewind. See the play-by-play. How much damage did it deal? After a slack off, I was at 67. And now I've got -1 defense. I don't think we can afford to slack off again. Not only does that risk a crit, but with a defense drop, we might just die to a high roll. I don't know if the Ultra Necrozma move kills, but I think this is my best bet of keeping Ucho alive. I think if I slack off, I risk Ucho dying and accomplishing nothing. Well, so actually, no. So slacking off will get me up to like 3/4 health. So the main risk is a crit. But if I slack off again, Berserk will proc again if Crush Claw lowers my defense again. -1 defense is 0.67%. Or 0.67, right? Because -2 is half. I think a safe play is to slack off, actually. It's funny, you said avoid taking is bad and then you missed twice. The gods were listening to me. Okay, now we're at +4. Or +2, I don't actually know. But now we have to light that burns the sky. What? Oh, it did deal damage. Okay. It just didn't register because it's broken like that. Okay. Well, Uchuho, you were a real one. You were a real one. Honestly, you showed up so much more than I could have asked for. Let's finish this, Stefan. The Iron Price. I could have sacrificed one of my low health Pokemon, but I feel like that was not a recipe for success. I think getting that damage off, because like sacrificing a low health Pokemon, there's no guarantee that things don't devolve into a sweep, right? We paid the iron price. I'm not ready for a fight yet, Nanu, though. Nanu is a police officer and the island kahuna? Rotom, I don't care. ACAB still. Utsuho, enjoy your new life in the woods. You were a real one. This is the saddest death so far. This is the saddest death so far. Two misses. Fleur Cannon into Overheat miss. Or no, it was Fleur Cannon miss and Flying Press miss. 95 to 90. That's why you don't use inaccurate moves. But, like, I don't have the option. Alright. Let's actually level our team up correctly this time. USUM, Island, Kahuna. Okay, Nanu has a level 43 Sableye, a level 43 Krokorok, and a level 44 Persian. So level cap is 44. Fleur Cannon would have been really good here. We got Gwendolyn. The eject button means that we're gonna get fake outed out unless we can bait it into using something other than fake out. So if we put like a ghost type here. Which we've got Castor. Just looking at the team. So against dark types, Lilith is probably pretty good. Stefan probably pretty good. He's got multiple fake out Pokemon. Maybe Sleaze Face for U-turn shenanigans? Yeah, this is a time where Kagehiro would or Ichiro would have been really good. Okay, I think this is probably the team. KR Beast has Play Rough. That's true, actually. Maybe KR Beast over Time for Hugs? Well, so... I think let's Snuggle Forever and Flying Press. Because Play Rough is 90 accuracy. I guess Castor's only purpose was to be a ghost for illusion. Oh, hold on. Okay, reconnection successful. Reconnection successful. Can you hear me now? Am alive. We are so back. Okay. Yeah, OBS just had a little stutter. What I was saying is Castor's only reason was to be there for illusion, but Lilith does that too. Yoshi! So I think this is probably the squad I want. Okay. Let's level everyone up to 44. All the way up. Okay. I am a little bit stressed out for this fight. But I'm thinking we should be good with the current team. Okay. So, stabilize first. I'm baiting him into not using Fake Out, using Illusion. We Moonblast, and we fuck him up from there. I'm beginning to question how rare those candies are. It's just because I'm a member of Team Skull I stole them all. That is a badass opening though. Just like sitting there relaxing and then boom, his eyes. So, we Moonblast. The Sableye. Get fucked, loser. So Krokorok is next. Krokorok has Crunch, Assurance, Swagger, and Earthquake. Do we just Moonblast again? So now comes Persian. I don't like this position. I don't like this position because we could hit ourselves in confusion. Although, okay, so Persian is probably going to go first, right? So we get our eject button. And we get out that way. Oh, it's a Z move. Darkinium Z. Okay. Black Hole Eclipse, but we should be neutral to that because of the fairy typing. So we eject button out. Gwendolyn retreats. And now Stefan comes. And we Sacred Sword. Oh shit, right, Power Gem. Fuck. Okay, so it's probably gonna go for Power Gem again. So we go Time for Hugs. All it has is Power Gem and Dark Pulse. So either way, Time for Hugs resists. Alright, let's use Mimikyu. There we go. Okay. Whew. Get hit by a black hole, just walk it off. I didn't notice the box of rare candies that Team Skull has next to the box of Buggy MZ. Cop down! Officer down! Officer down! And now we have the lab. Congratulations or whatever. And now we gotta take on the corporation. Okay. Chat. Time for the ultimate bet. Is Hao going to attack us when he's our teammate? Cop down, next target the rich. He really was just protecting the corporation. Alright, we gotta give Gwendolyn back her eject button. Or his eject button. And then... let's have KR Beast in the front. Time for the best fight theme in, like, all of Pokemon. I love the Aether Foundation battle theme. Oh wait, we're both using two-turn moves. This is actually pretty funny. Splash? Splash. This is the music that plays when you break into Amazon headquarters. That is true. That is a true statement. Is there any stuff you want to see in Legends Z to A? Do you mean more broad or specific? Because, like, broadly, I would like better performance than we've got in Legends Arceus and Gen 9. I would like a game that feels, like, polished? Specific? New megas. Because they've confirmed they're bringing megas back, but they haven't shown us what megas? Like, or they haven't shown us any new megas? I would like new megas. We know there's at least 2 new megas thanks to the Terra leak. What's the Terra leak? Mega Licky Licky. So like, I think the obvious place to look for like who would be getting new megas is the 3 starters. Meganium, Embor, and Feraligatr. And, like, they are starters that could use a buff. I fear there won't be new megas. Yeah, that's where I'm at, too, is, like, I want new megas. I mean, so, like, I say this as... Oh... Yeah, Retaliate just fucks you sometimes. This is why it's important to look up movesets even on random trainers. Because if I had known about Retaliate, I would have switched to Lilith for the immunity. Embor is the first time I ever stopped using a starter in the middle of my first run. Interesting, because Embor is really well suited to Black and White, and Black and White 2. Not because of its fire typing, but just on the strength of being a strong fighting type. I guess it doesn't get good fighting type moves until very late in the game. Like, I'm running a Black and White Nuzlocke right now, and bro's main stab is arm thrust. Damn. That was a sad death. That was a sad death. Sad because of how fucking preventable it was. Alright. Time to bring out the big guns. This is the team that doesn't fuck around. 2 of my submissions died this stream. Back to back. At least they're in the woods together. At least they're in the woods together. KR Beast, I didn't have the time to get attached to, but I'm still really sad about Ashura. Like, that was one of our solid... There's some Pokemon who I whip out for specific boss fights, right? Where I'm like, I need to prepare for this boss fight. And there's other Pokemon where I go, it's just a day-to-day, is what I call them. And it's like, I don't know what challenges we've got in store, but I need someone I can rely on. And Uchuro was one of the day-to-days. If I needed something, and I didn't know what I needed, who you gonna call? Not the Ghostbusters, but Shiro. Are you getting Xenoblade X this Thursday? No. I do not wish to spend money on a Xenoblade game. I've only played Xenoblade 1, but it was some of the least fun that I've ever had playing a video game. Like, that game was fucking miserable. And going beyond that, right? Not only was the game unfun, and the story was, like, not bad. I wouldn't say the story was bad. But the story, like... people really oversold it as, like, peak fiction. When it was just, like, a really competent story. Like, generic but competent. Granted, like, I only got through the first, like, few chapters, so... it could be one of those, like, it gets better if you're willing to sink 25 hours into the worst gameplay of your fucking life. Moments? But, like, the thing that really turned me off of Xenoblade as a series wasn't the fact that it's some of the worst gameplay I've ever encountered, but the way that the fan base responded when I canceled the streams. 'Cause I stream... Yo, this accuracy, though. Yo, this accuracy, though! I streamed, because I was like, oh, you know, everyone I talk to says this is the greatest game of all time. I'm not risking an accuracy moment. Okay, we'll switch to Dry Cat. Everyone I spoke to said this is the greatest game of all time. So I was like, you know, it'd be cool, you know, Fire Emblem Fan streams Xenoblade first playthrough. Yo, I just powered up your synthesis, dog! And those were very successful streams. Like, normally non-Fire Emblem streams do quite poorly for me. But those did better than most of my Fire Emblem streams. So, like, they were obviously popular, and I was incentivized. I played longer than I would have if I weren't streaming it. Because, like, people were watching. And I was like, you know, I want to, you know, give this an honest try. but I didn't like it, right? And when I canceled the streams in a community post... Really? Okay, do we have... Oh, we got 99 of these? Okay, well... Lilith's gonna eat berries now. I canceled the streams, and that community post got some of the most toxic comments I've gotten since YouTubing. And, like, I'm an openly queer woman on the internet. I get my fair share of hate just for that. So believe me when I say, like, this was some of the most fucking unhinged shit I've ever seen. Just, like, an unprecedented level of, like... malice for the fact that I didn't want to keep playing this game I don't like. And, like, something that I've come to realize over the past couple of months is that viewers on YouTube, like, painting with a broad brush here, right? Obviously, this is not going to apply to everyone. Hashtag not all men, hashtag not all YouTube viewers. But painting with a broad brush, viewers on YouTube are incredibly entitled. And what I mean by that is they feel like they are owed, very specific things from YouTubers who are like, you know, I'm providing these videos to you for free, quote unquote. Like, I do get paid in AdSense, but like, you're not paying me. I mean, my patrons are. Some of you in chat, I recognize, are paying me. And I am, like, legitimately extremely thankful for that. But I do not think, like, I think the overlap between people who are going out of their way to pay me money on Patreon and people who are writing extremely graphic depictions of what they wish would happen to me because I canceled a fucking Xenoblade 1 playthrough? I would like to think the overlap is zero. Between those two groups. Wait, where are we going now? Oh, the lab. Like, I had an interaction recently where somebody got upset on the dancers video. So they left me a comment about how, like, here's why Olivia's bad. And I was like, oh, I disagree. Like, the comments was based in, like, the foundation for their argument was... Well, this will be neutral, at least. The foundation for their argument was based in Awakening is an enemy phase game. And I generally don't like breaking games into, like, enemy phase or player phase, because I think it oversimplifies things. But if you were to break them down, I would say that Awakening is not an enemy phase-centric game, right? And so I responded by saying, like, personally, I don't think Awakening is an enemy phase-centric game. And this person got incredibly unhinged and wrote multiple paragraphs about this, that, and the other as to why I'm a terrible person for that. And it ended up with, like, multiple people entering the thread in order to say, like, you are being rude to this person because you did not... What was the exact demands? Like, you did not write a multiple paragraph long post explaining why you feel the way you do. And you owe it to them as a dedicated viewer. Which, like, first off, you know, obviously, bro, watch the video, right? Like, bro, watch the video. I spent weeks of my life explaining my reasoning in a video. But even if I hadn't, I don't owe anything to, I mean, anyone. But I don't owe you a long and detailed explanation of why I feel the way I feel about certain Fire Emblem games. I like giving long and detailed explanations for my thoughts. Like, it's why I'm a YouTuber. Oh my god, the accuracies! The gods of dodge tanking have heard me say dodge tanking isn't real, and they are punishing me for my hubris. I've missed so many 90 to 95% hits. Kaga, can you please implement 2RN in Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon? I'm pretty sure Dry Cat kills here. It's super effective, sun boosted. I've literally never felt the need to write hate comments. This wasn't even what I would describe as a hate comment. Like, it was definitely an angry comment, but I mean, I guess it depends on your definition of hate comments, because, like, I would say a hate comment is someone who just, like, goes out of the way to post, like, you suck. But this was more just, like, I'm upset because I expect something from you, and I feel owed it. Like, which was the common theme in the Xenoblade stuff, right? Where it was, like, because I am not providing a complete playthrough of Xenoblade Chronicles. I guess it also ties into, like, the weird gamer pride of, like, if you start a game, you have to finish it. Which is a trap that I sometimes fall into. But, like, if you start a game or movie or TV show, and at any point you find yourself not enjoying it, you are not obligated to finish. And that's not to say, like, you should give up as soon as something, like, has any amount of unfun portions. It should be, you know, a judgment for you, whether how you feel about, like, is it worth continuing this? Do you think that what is on the other side will be... Do you think that what is on the other side will be worth, the unfun or unenjoyable portion, right? And that's a personal... That's gonna be a personal choice, right? But, like, bringing it back to Xenoblade, I didn't have fun at any point during that stream. Like, I was intrigued by the story, but that's being generous. I made this is the fucking comparison that got me canceled, right? We haven't gotten to the How double battle yet, so we haven't been able to test it. This is where we find out if How attacks me, Frey. I made the comparison with Xenoblade 1, where I was like, everyone says that it has the best story of all time, but I from what I got, it was just like mostly competent. Maybe it gets better later, but considering how much of an overlap there is between Fire Emblem fans and Xenoblade fans, part of me wonders whether the story being competent just seems a lot better. Oh god, the lag. Just seems a lot better in comparison to the average Fire Emblem story, right? How has not attacked me yet. And I think that there is a... You know, like, obviously that's kind of a mean thing to say. But I think that there is a tendency within Nintendo properties in particular. You know, you see this in, like, Pokemon, right? I say as I'm playing Pokemon. But, like, you see this in Pokemon, you see this in Fire Emblem. A lot of Nintendo properties get praised for being, like, groundbreaking in some way by people who almost exclusively play Nintendo games. And, like, I would consider myself, like, I don't know that Nintendo fan would be the correct way to, like, phrase it or whatever. What if I do this? What if I kill Hal? Get fucked, loser. Yeah, taste your own medicine, bitch. Wait, what if we go... How? That's a nice Decidueye you have. Mine's shiny. Get fucked. Get fucked, loser. Mine's shiny. Bloom Doom. Oh, that Huntail does not know what's coming his way. Get fucked, loser! Kill Decidueye? I think throwing my own shiny out is more of a slap in the face than killing his Decidueye. I can't believe you put heaven or hell in the thumbnail, but not on your team. Be grateful. The Pokemon on my team have all died. If that was Primarina, you would have been hit. It's not here. Don't even think about getting in here. But yeah, I think that, like, as someone who plays a lot of Nintendo games, I would say Nintendo's probably the company that I play the most video games of, even discounting, like, the Fire Emblem brain rot that I have. Like, I play a lot of Mario RPGs and Mario platformers and stuff. I feel like, Nintendo fans oftentimes praise franchises for approaching the heights that, like, other games and other franchises have been doing for, like, half a decade or more. And that was sort of, like, the point that I was trying to express with, like, the Xenoblade is, like, this, like, mostly fine story being described as peak fiction just felt, like, is it really peak? I know I beat this fight in my first Nuzlocke attempt by killing Hal first. I think we go to entrance next. I can never remember. This is like such a sterile corporate area. Can I add another Pokemon or is it too late? It is too late. However, we will be doing a season 3 relatively soon. And season 3 is going to be a Sword and Shield double battles randomizer. Egglocke. I'm gonna be making a community post calling for eggs there. But I'm excited for it because I'm excited to see what people cook up when it comes to specifically double battle intended Pokemon. Because you can make like assist focused Pokemon. You could submit like multiple Pokemon that are meant to work together, but you have no idea whether I'll even open them up both. I can't wait to overthink my submission. I mean, so with the double battles one, I'm also going to be letting people submit like as many as they want. Rather than previously, the previous 2, I limited it to like 1 per person, and then you get an extra if you're a patron, right? But I think that especially for like Sword and Shield, and for like double battles where it's so aggressive and you're probably going to be losing people more, having more options. I mean, how the fuck did I outspeed that Raichu? I have some cool ideas for season 3. I am genuinely, like, very excited to see what people have for Season 3. It probably won't be immediately after this, which is, like, the Season 2. Simply because, like, I want to play Cerulean Crescent. There's some other things I want to stream as well. I still haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, and I would like to stream a blind Iron Man of that. I think that would be fun. Could you increase the number of Pokemon that each trainer has? I believe I did that. I think I made everyone have 4. I already made the randomized ROM. I just don't remember what settings I made because I made it like 2 years ago. Because it was originally just going to be a regular double battle randomizer. But then I decided it would be more fun to make it into an Egglocke. So now it's that. Okay, now we gotta kill Faba. How do you Iron Man Baldur's Gate? Does it have permadeath? Basically, just no reloading old saves. I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm just gonna pick 2 Pokemon to represent some lesbian ship I like. Honestly based, though. No triple threat. Hinata archetype? There's no triple battles after Gen 6. The only generations with triple battles are 5 and 6. They got rid of them in 7. Which, honestly, considering how laggy double battles are, fucking makes sense. It's a crime, they are neat. Yeah, but like, I would prefer to have a game that runs at more than like 2 frames per second. I love the Gen 7 games, but they are not immune to criticism, and like a big one is just how laggy double battles are. And God, the fucking arena, like the 4 battle royale battles and stuff. So lag-tastic. Oh, he burned me! No! He killed his own teammate! Loser! 6v6 battles for ultimate chaos. That sounds like what Smash 4 tried doing. Common green unit L. Okay, type null, kill the Electabuzz. Thank you! Ooh, static. Gen 6 Moltres the lag. Magmar got howled. Okay, these are both special attackers, so maybe we switch my car out for someone else. Ooh. Because Dry Cat fucking dies here. We need to kill this Houndoom. Why are they using physical attacks? No Earthquake? I am not allowed to select the moves on these Pokemon. They were submitted by viewers. So this is just has car stuff. That's why it's called my car. It's got shift gear, high horsepower, extreme speed, smoke screen, and a cool drive equipped. Cars don't have earthquakes. And now we have to fight Faba, I think? At least it has a stab move. Okay, so... Alright, we focus on Faba, because the Ladian is not a threat. God, it's so laggy! Alright, How? Be smart about this. Don't attack the Ladian. Ladian is not a threat. If you push him into the pool, he becomes an Aqua Faba. Send in the dark types. I do not get to rearrange my team in between these fights. Which is why I had Lilith in the front, because she's just, like, reliable. Show me a discharge. I swear to God if How kills me. That Aether dude thinks he's in Pokemon Coliseum. I am so glad that the tide has started to turn on Pokemon Coliseum. Because I've been a hater, I can't say since day one, because I only played Pokemon Coliseum for the first time, like... 2.5 years ago? But I played it and I was like, why does everyone say this is so good? I could crunch Raichu. Oh, I wanted the Raichu to die. Okay, I think we still crunch the Clay Doll. What are you doing, Hal? I've never seen him withdraw a Pokemon before. That's so strange. Okay, unfortunately, we don't have a ghost move. I think we switch to Gwendolyn, and when the eject button procs, if we get eject buttons... Oh, it's setting up screens! I liked Coliseum because Furet, my second favorite mom, is pretty good in it. Honestly, that's fair, though. That is a fair reason to like the game. Also, did the eject button not work? Oh, no. We just didn't get hit. Okay. So we Moongeist beam the Hypno, because Pupitar is also not a threat. I just found it to be, like, incredibly slow and incredibly unfun. The animations take 5 ever and a half. The fact that he kicks out the beam is so funny. Okay, so we're getting eject buttons. He's leaving now. And now we bring out Kashim. But I also find, like, and I was so looking forward to it. Not because of the edgy, like, you can steal trainers' Pokemon. But because I think double battles are very cool and fun. But the AI being completely random, and the specific Pokemon you have access to, all being, like, incredibly underwhelming, in addition to, like, just the level curve being all over the place. Okay, we gotta switch again. Tri-Cap. And, like, the purification process, I got so sick of the purification process that I just hacked the game and gave myself infinite Celebi flutes. Ah, fuck. Okay. We switched to Gwendolyn again. We don't get ejected this time. Thousand arrows here. Yeah, now it's the 2v1. Because I don't think Hao has another Pokemon. Oh, I was really hoping that would kill Bruxish. Oh, he does have another Pokemon. Okay, he's got Vaporeon. Oh, he does not have another Pokemon. Okay. So we nuke the Bruxish. Gwendolyn's 45. Does this kill the Pupitar? Okay. Okay. I can't believe How is a Gooner. Vaporeon is, like, my favorite evolution, and I hate that copy pasta. It corrupted the cute mermaid cat. I just like it because it's a mermaid cat. Where did the copy pasta come from? The depths of Reddit and unhingedness. Alright, so we gotta kill... We have a Guzma fight next, but we have to kill a couple of trainers first. Before fighting Guzma, I am gonna fight these 3 trainers. And then I'll go back and change my team up. The internet has a tendency to ruin things we love. Yeah. Reddit, I thought it was 4chan. Oh, it might be 4chan. I don't know. Gladion doesn't play by traditional trainer rules. It's not even funny. Every time it's brought up, an angel loses its wings. Sorry to correct you, the Vaporeon copy pasta is even worse than Reddit. It's from 4chan. Okay, so it is 4chan? Okay. Mixing up hell with hell. There are at least parts of Reddit that, like, try to be less shit. They are unsuccessful with it, but they try. All right, my car. It's your time to shine, my car. But Walter. Hell and older hell. The thing about, like, the parts of Reddit that try to be, like, not shit reminded me of, like, this was the interaction that got me to be like, well, from now on, the only thing I'm gonna use Reddit for is trolling people. Because when I was, like, a small, wee little child, by which I mean I was someone in, like, 3 years out of college, I used Reddit like a normal person would. Well, normal people don't use Reddit. I used Reddit like a normal Redditor would. And there was, like, a, like, liberal-leaning subreddit. Basically just, like, complaining about, like, right-wing stuff, right? And somebody on there... Somebody in the comment section used the word African as an insult. So I responded to them, like, because they were, liberals love being racist against Republicans. Like, if there's a black Republican, that is permission to whip out racism. And the same with, like, sexism in women, the same with, homophobia with gay Republicans, like, you know, they're just looking for the excuses, right? So somebody used the word African as an insult when talking about a black Republican. And I said, like, hey, it's kind of racist to use, I said, like, hey, can we not use African as an insult? And then I got permanently banned from that subreddit with the explanation racism. So it said, like, you can contact the admin team if you have any questions. So I did, and I said, like, hey, what's going on? Like, maybe you misunderstood my comment. I was not saying, like, that there's anything bad about being African. I was saying, can we please not use the word African as an insult? Like, I think there might be some misunderstanding here. And then I got blocked by the admin team with no response. And again, this is not like a generic Reddit or a right-leaning Reddit. This was supposedly a progressive space. But the thing about progressive spaces on the internet is they are still predominantly made up of cishet white men. So there's still like large ingrained isms in these progressive spaces. So anyway, that was when I got blackpilled. What about y'all? USUM Guzma. It's ya boy. Alright. Aether Paradise. Level cap is 45, so Lilith is unfortunately over-leveled. But I don't think she was going to be particularly good against Guzma anyway. I mean, we have the answer, right? We have the answer. It's Guzkraken. Guzkraken time, exactly. I don't need to do preparation. I don't need to do preparation. There's only one Pokemon that I care about right now. My old Reddit account got banned for saying the word woman. Not even from a subreddit, it got permanently suspended. The thing is, now that I just use Reddit to troll people, I don't get fucking banned from subreddits, despite, like, making some of the most obvious either bait or just troll comments and posts and shit. Did Guzkraken sweep Guzma in the second fight? Yeah, and we're going for 3 for 3. Facebook is also like that. Wakandan as an insult. I was like, please touch grass. I'm like... The thing about touch grass, right, is like... I do think sometimes people overuse touch grass. Oh boy, a rare candy! Oh, fuck. I didn't see you there, buddy. I do think sometimes people overuse touch grass, and I do try to avoid it because it does come off as like... It sometimes come off as like, okay. But like, there are some people who just need to step outside, right? Like, sometimes you interact with someone and you're like, the only appropriate response to this person is touch grass. And like in those situations, what are you gonna do but say touch grass, right? Sometimes people just need to fucking understand how the real world works. What did this Groudon wanna be? It's auto-balanced. Auto-balanced is funny. Auto-balanced is just like, what if Kyogre had Groudon's starting moveset? I hope Guzma doesn't suffer from Molder syndrome, dies in the attempted third sweep. Don't worry. Guzma's built different. Also, I feel like I should say for all the people who are mad that I pronounce Groudon that way, I'm gonna keep doing it. Mispronouncing Pokemon names is like mandatory for being a Pokemon YouTuber. And like, I'm not a Pokemon YouTuber, but I am a YouTuber who's playing Pokemon. Can you pronounce Arceus for me? It's Arceus. I mean, like, so that one we did basically get an official pronunciation for because of the RKS system. It's Arceus. I think that it used to be Arceus or Arceus. But then they decided to cave into the woke British. Because it sounds like arse in British. But like real English-speaking Americans know that arse isn't a real word. It's called ass. So it's pronounced Asius. Kind of like Cassius. From hit game TMGC. Call it Groudon from now on to build solidarity between the Groudon and the Groudon fans. I call it Groudon. Like, I got that from Jimothy Cool, right? I'm not gonna pretend that's a Danny Doyle original, because it's not. But apparently he gets hate comments for saying Groudon. And the thing is, according to him, he's just always called it Groudon because that's how he thought it was pronounced as a kid. So, like, imagine being, again, this is like Xenoblade fan behavior. Imagine being the sort of person who leaves a hate comment because someone pronounces the name of a fictional animal differently from you. You outspeed? Guzma, no! Guzma! How the fuck does Pinsir outspeed Guzma? Wait, can we get a play-by-play? Did my speed get lowered or something? Intimidate? Lowers attack, that doesn't matter. How the fuck did Pinsir outspeed? Can somebody explain this? Max speed Ivy and Eevee. It still shouldn't. Okay, no, we're pulling up the stats. Hold on. Pinsir. USUM stats. Pinsir has a base speed of 85. What's the actual name for Goose-Kraken? It's Noivern, right? Noivern has a base speed of 123! How the fuck? How the fuck did a base speed of 85 Pinsir outspeed Noivern? That's BS EV stuff. Alright, auto balance. I guess it's on you. What is its nature? What is its nature? Let's see. Does it have a minus speed nature? How do you see the nature? I can't tell. How do you check its nature? Do we have to wait until after battle? Gen 7 doesn't let you check nature? There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way they keep the natures hidden. The world's fastest Pinsir here. In battle. Oh, okay, okay. I mean, can outspeed Vikavolt, but who knows if maybe this is the bulkiest Vikavolt known to man, and he lives a goddamn flamethrower in the sun. So we gotta switch to my car now. So this will be neutral. Oh no, but it has levitate, doesn't it? So we gotta extreme speed here. Oh, that's like nothing. Energy ball! Fuck! Oh, I'm so on tilt right now. I'm so on tilt right now, I didn't even check the moves. Okay, so it's gonna energy ball again. Thing is, if I switch to Kashim, it's just gonna bug buzz to follow up. So I think we go dry cat. So we 4x resist this. But dry cat is still frail as shit. Okay. Flame charge. Fuck. I guess we go time for hugs? I knew that was a possibility. Like, cause it's so fucking frail, but... Actually tragic turn of events. I swear to fucking God, like, if Goose-Kraken has had a minus speed nature this whole time and I just didn't realize it... I was not prepared for the Pinsir outspeeding my fucking Noivern. How do you check nature? Modest. Okay, Pokemon nerds. What the fuck does Modest do? I'm not looking it up. I'm waiting for y'all. That is not a speed lowering nature. This is why I say the difficulty in USUM is like, it's too much, right? They dialed it too much. I want a difficult Pokemon game that doesn't just say, fuck you EV Train. Cause like, that's a fuck you EV Train moment. Like, obviously, sweeping through Guzma with Guzkraken is boring. And I'm not complaining that, like... Actually, no, I am complaining that the game doesn't let me sweep through with Guzkraken, because Guzkraken is not a Pokemon who you should have access to at this point in the game. You should not have an Aerialate Noivern with choice specs and a plus special attack nature. Like, this is a hacked Pokemon, right? The game being so resistant to even a hacked Pokemon sweeping through, a hacked Pokemon with a type advantage and the most powerful super effective move known to man. Should be able to tackle this. Is there a Lusamine fight now? I think there's just a cutscene, so I don't have to go back to the Poke Center. I'm just in case I'm wrong. This is not me going into the fight if there's actually a fight here. I'm pretty sure it's just a cutscene. I don't want to walk all the way back to the Poke Center for just a cutscene. In the original there is, yes. In the original there is. There is a fight? Well... Oh, it's just Poiple. So there is a Lusamine fight here. Okay, well let me pull it up then. Oh, you know what? Actually, I wiped to this in my most recent Nuzlocke too. Poiple the Forgotten Starter. It is a cutie. Oh, you cheater pants. How dare you use one of the mechanics in the game, items. The move reminder at the Elite Four. Yeah, that's another piece of bullshit, isn't it? Oh, please don't die to Toxic. Oh, she's gonna potion, isn't she? Okay, Kashim. Didn't potion, damn. I swear to God, if I lose a Pokemon to this Poiple, I'm deleting my channel. According to Showdown, Noivern should always outspeed Neutral Nature Pinsir at level 45, even if Pinsir is fully invested. It went down to the IVs. I mean, like, so Pinsir has max EV, max IV in speed, is what people were saying. Text sheet I found on Reddit with all the trainers with EV Pokemon, and Guzma's Pinsir has 30 IVs and 252 EVs in speed with a nature that doesn't affect speed. Yeah, that Pinsir was just built different. Like, this is why I don't like the way that they approached difficulty in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Challenging team compositions? Yes. EV bullshit? No. I don't like the EV system. I've never liked EVs, even when they're, like, in the player's favor. And I think that USUM is a good demonstration of, like, why, as a system, they suck. I get that they're, like, for competitive, they're cool in, like, all the depth that they offer, right? But EV training is not fun. And you need to do it to stand a chance against these trainers. Otherwise, you're gonna send your friends to the woods. Some of my favorite fan games get rid of EVs. I think that that's the correct decision. Because I've seen some go in the direction of just giving enemy trainers EVs similar to the Ultra games. And I think that that just means that then you incentivize the EV training, which is just unfun, in my opinion. Because, like, it's just grinding, but it's, like, a highly specific form of grinding that's, like, lame. Okay, Lusamine has a level 47 team. So Lilith is technically legal again. Okay, I think we need to whip out the big guns, though. So she starts with, like, oh, we can't even use Sillier Guy, because her Clefable has Moonblast. The thing, I'm pretty sure Lusamine uses random AI, too. Is, like, the really shit part. Alright, Purgatory. Purgatory, Sillier Guy, Colorful Cat, Unagi, OG Firebender, Auto Balance. This is the squad. This is the squad. This is our squad. Let's get everyone up to 47. Why is it that even when you're fighting against weak Pokemon, it's still hard, like the Poipole and the Furfrou? Well, so, part of the answer is the Furfrou fight. At that point in the game, Furfrou is not a weak Pokemon. Furfrou being a single stage has very good stats for the early game. So the Furfrou that you fight early on is actually, like, high statted for the Pokemon, like, because you're usually going to have unevolved Pokemon there, right? But the other answer is, again, it's EVs. I much prefer difficulty in well-built teams. Black and White 2 are probably my favorite Pokemon games because of the hard mode and the way that it offers difficulty in terms of well-built teams. And before anyone says it, I am aware that hard mode is bugged to not actually increase stats. However, the argument that hard mode is easier than normal mode, is very silly. In a couple of ways. First, that's assuming that we're playing a Nuzlocke with level caps, which is like, I am here, but that is not how everyone approaches the game. In fact, I would argue that's not how most people approach the games. But perhaps more importantly, even if you are playing a hardcore Nuzlocke with level caps, first off, level factors into damage output, right? So even though they have the same stats, they're going to be dealing more damage because of their level. But also, the hard mode teams, if you compare the hard mode teams side by side with the normal mode teams, it's night and day. Like, competitive items, competitive move sets, more Pokemon, strong, like, better Pokemon, better team synergy. The hard mode teams are very well crafted. The BDSP Elite Four was a nightmare. Yeah, I have not played BDSP. It does not look fun to me. I probably will never play it, which is unfortunate because the Elite Four, from what I understand, is, like, really good. But everything else about the game seems awful. Maybe I'll make it a torture reward. Maybe I'll make it a torture reward for one of the bribe donations. I miss Black and White 2, Cynthia. I need to get back to my Black and White 2 0 EXP playthrough. I beat Skyla like a year ago, and then I just haven't touched the playthrough since then. Black and White 2 with a patch to fix hard mode is very challenging. I would say even without the fixed hard mode, it's very challenging. We don't need another smell Xenologue situation. I got a video out of it, though. It was a controversial video, apparently. I did not expect... I knew that obviously there's gonna be some fans of every game, right? I didn't expect so many Fel Xenologue defenders. But I think the thing that surprised me the most is at the beginning of the video, like, offhandedly mentioned that I like Engage, and I even think that its story is not, like, the worst thing made in existence ever. And I said, like, I know a lot of people, like, prefer the story of Three Houses, but I think Three Houses showed us that intelligent systems can't write moral complexity in its stories very well, and the fan base absolutely can't handle it. And I stand by both of those statements. I guess all three of those statements. The third one being that, like, Three Houses has a arguably more morally complex story than Engage, which apparently that was controversial too. And I say that as someone who doesn't like the story of Three Houses. But yeah, I got a lot of negative feedback around that take in particular. And it really surprised me, because I guess since that was just such an offhanded thing, I didn't really get deep into the weeds explaining why I feel that way, which can lead to, like, obviously if you don't explain why you feel a certain way and someone disagrees with you, they're more likely to just assume, like, the stupidest version of your argument. So that's fair. But, like, how do you look at fans yelling at each other about, you know, Dimitri doesn't just kill women, he murders them, or like Edelgard is fascist and you're fascist for liking her, or like the weird racism around Claude, both in the story and in the fan base, and think that that's like not an example of Fire Emblem fans just not being able to handle quote-unquote morally complex stories. I guess the more reasonable, like, disagreement would be the idea that Intelligent Systems is actually good at writing morally complex stories, which I disagree with. I think Three Houses, like, a big part of why the Three Houses discourse was so toxic was the way that it was written. Seemingly, like, so many characters just act incredibly different from route to route, and even within the same route, there's a lot of, like, weird inconsistencies. I don't know. I feel like people would not praise Three Houses' story so much if it didn't come immediately after Fire Emblem Fates. Let's just boost up to max. Oh, she's smart! Fuck. And we can't normalize anymore. Fuck. Fuck. I thought this was gonna be the opportunity for me to talk about Three Houses! Okay, she's Is Dual Chop not a fighting type attack? Oh, it's Dragon! It's Dragon. Yeah, I always forget. I always think it's fighting type. Alright, well, let's Sledge Wave here because it's super effective. Who's next? Lilligant, Lopunny, and Milotic. I hope Lilligant? Milotic. So, I think we go Nagi here. Okay, Milotic down. We just have Lopunny and Lilligant left. Lilligant next. It has Petal Dance, Teeter Dance, and Stun Spore. I'm gonna OG Firebender. And Sacred Fire this bitch. The confusion is a little bit unfortunate. Wait, Judgment's super effective? Oh, Judgment does get affected by the plate. It's just that multi-type doesn't work. Okay. Does Rayquaza have better special or physical? Better special. So we go Judgment then. We 4x resist this, we're fine.
Face my judgment.
Did Milotic just get its butt kicked by a Tynamo with Wonder Guard? I never thought that'd be something I'd see. Okay, so this Lopunny has Ice Punch, Dizzy Punch, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch. She uses random AI, so we can't be certain that she's going to be using Ice Punch. But we can be certain that Sillier Guy is immune to whatever she's using. So now... we can just foul play this bitch. You may as well forfeit now, Lusamine. Oh. I'm still mad about Goose Kraken, but that felt good. Leveraging the A team against Lusamine. What? So I just realized there's no second Lusamine fight in Ultra. That's replaced by Ultra Necrozma. They went into the blue dimension. Nebby evolved. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Lusamine must use construction grade product on her hair. She needs it in order to appear like Nihilego. Hello, Ultra Recon team. Bazap. Bazinga. Pheromosa, not Nihiligo. Right, Lily's Nihiligo, right? I love that Lily canonically has super strength. Nebby had an anime evolution, not gaining EXP. A lot of strong hitters died this team. Yeah, this was definitely the most, like, everyone who died previously was either, like, a funny death or, like, a... Weed Eater was definitely tragic, but we didn't have enough time to get attached to Weed Eater, right? Like, Weed Eater was just me forgetting... me forgetting that fucking Salazzle also has Fire type. I'm sick of people saying lifting Nebby up is hard because it's floating. Oh shit, okay, well, tornado warning, bye.